Hi Capricorn, welcome to your reading. And this is a reading for Capricorn Sun, Moon and Rising for November 2021. And keep in mind that this is a general reading, so it might not resonate with all of you. And if it doesn't, feel free to check your other placements here in the channel as well. So Capricorn, I already got your cards from the pre-shuffle, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the role of Scorpio this month. And I have been talking about it with all the zodiacs. And I delayed your readings for you, Aquarius and Pisces, also because this new moon in Scorpio hit me very hard this month. So we had a new moon in the sign of Scorpio on November 4th, if I'm not mistaken. And this was a very impactful energy for me. And now we are gonna have a full moon also in the sign of Scorpio in just a bit of a week, and which is also going to be an eclipse. Okay, and all this energy is going on in the sign of Scorpio. Now Mars has moved into Scorpio as well 2 days ago with conjunct Mercury in the sign of Scorpio at the same time that it was making a square with Saturn in Aquarius. And Scorpio rules your natural 11th house. Okay, and Aquarius is your second house. So here we are joining the society, everything that goes around you, okay, all the groups that you're part of, your friends, and also your aspirations with the second house, which is the house of your personal values. So in the society, we connect with the values of the society, what is good for other people, what is good for the collective. But in the second house, it's what is it that is good for us? What do I personally value? And then we had this square going on there. So Scorpio, and also this new moon that happened in Scorpio, was transforming how you connect with the collective, how you connect with the groups around you, how you connect with the society, what role does the needs of the society place in your life. But then now, with Mars and Mercury there is squaring with Saturn in Aquarius, we also stop and think, okay, but how can I balance my own needs, my own aspirations, my own values with the ones of the society around me? This is a question that you might be asking yourself this month. And depending on where you are in the world, now we are starting to have more and more restrictions again. And these restrictions are very 11th house. What is good for the society? What does the society need from me right now? But then we have all those second house values going on in there as well. But what about me? What about what I want? What about my own possessions, my own resources? How can I combine those two things? And I think that this month is a month in which it's very hard to find that equilibrium. It's very hard to find that balance between the two. Because we want freedom. Aquarius is in the second house. So I want to be free to choose what I want. I want to be free to choose what it is that I value. Where do I want to place my resources, my time resources, my money resources? I want to be able to choose that. It's in Aquarius. I don't want to be told what to do. But then the 11th house in Scorpio is all about power, is all about control, and is all about the power of this collective unconscious happening in the 11th house. Okay, so how do you balance the needs for control and control coming from other people and your need to be free in how you choose how to spend your own time, your own money, your own energy? This will be a theme for you now in the month of November. So having said that, let's open up the cards that represent you this month and also the card that represents your environment this month. Okay, so coming up representing you, we have the Death card, which is a card ruled by Pluto, is a card ruled by Scorpio. So it's very Scorpionic. So yeah, this transformation is right in your face this month. And you are coming up as this Death card here. And I don't know yet if you are just fulfilling a role of self-transformation or if you are fulfilling this role for someone else. Let's take a look at the card that represents your environment. Okay, so we have the the Four of Pentacles. It makes a lot of sense with what I just said, because when I said about the environment being ruled by Scorpio for you, right? So the 11th house for you is ruled by Scorpio. So we have all those themes of control, of power, in the area that rules your group of friends and your environment and the society that you're part of and the groups that you're part of. And this society, this environment is coming up as the Four of Pentacles here. And the Four of Pentacles is a card of holding on onto what someone has. It's holding on to those resources. It's protecting itself. It's closing itself off. It's not a receptive card. It's a card about holding it back in, about protecting oneself, protecting one's resources. And I'm sorry, I have a machine on here, so if you're hearing some noises on the background, it's just a machine in my kitchen. But you coming up here as the Death card, while the environment is being so protective, I wonder what kind of role of breaking down some of these rules you're gonna have this month. And this could be your very immediate environment as well, your group of friends, for instance, your close friends. What kind of transformation are you bringing to these friends? I feel like there is here a lesson, not only to be learned here, but a lesson that you're teaching to the environment around you, that we need to let go of control. We need to let go of what we are holding on so dearly here. So there is this lesson. And it's interesting here because I'm really seeing you more as a teacher than as a student this month. I don't feel like you are learning the lesson of letting go. I feel like you are teaching the lessons of letting go. And that really combines with what the past years have been about for you, because Pluto has been transiting Capricorn. So actually Pluto has been teaching you a lesson for long enough about letting go of control, about relinquishing power. And now that Pluto got direct again, and it's really preparing itself to leave the sign of Capricorn in the next few years, I feel like most of these lessons have already been learned for you. And now it's time to pass them on. So what is the role that you're teaching here? How are you teaching people around you to let go of their needs for control? Because remember, your personal values are in Aquarius, so your personal values are related to being free. But the society, how you connect with the society, is a lesson of power and control. So how are your own personal values of being free teaching the society to let go of the needs for control? How is it combining there? And I think that right now it sounds very vague. I cannot really think of a personal example for this. So I just hope that you can recognize how this is happening in your life right now. Let's take a look at your cards. So we have the High Priestess in the reverse, the Page of Cups, the Ten of Swords in the reverse, the Knight of Cups in the reverse, the Magician right in the middle, the Justice, the Emperor, the Chariot, and the Eight of Pentacles. Wow. One thing to point out here is that even though we got the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups, I don't feel like this is a love reading for you at all. I actually feel like this is a much deeper reading than just a love reading. But this could be coming out in your life in many different ways. So maybe for some of you, this will be related to relationships. But I think that this is much more related to how we connect with ourselves emotionally and then therefore connect with others emotionally, rather than just being about love and relationships. This is about all kinds of relationships. This is about how we connect emotionally as people, as society, as everything. And here with the High Priestess in the reverse and the Page of Cups followed by the Ten of Swords in the reverse, it calls my attention again about what I mentioned before with you teaching the society, you teaching how to let go of things and how to open up for new things. I really see you assuming this role of a teacher here. And if for some of you, you are in the role of the student, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But I do think that the majority of you are falling into that role of teacher. Because with the High Priestess in the reverse here, I feel like many of the people around you, they might be very blindsided right now. When the High Priestess is in the upright, she actually owns the mysteries and she reveals them slowly. But in the reverse, the mysteries own her. This is a card of Pisces, and this is ruled by Neptune. And one very pure aspect of Neptune is the connection with the divine, is the connection with our inner self. Neptune is a very mystical planet, but the problem is that Neptune is also a fog. So it either grants us illumination and spiritual connection, or it grants us delusion. So when the High Priestess is in the reverse here, this is all about delusion. It's all about illusion. And it's being deluded. And we are many times deluded by choices. Deluded by our own expectations, by our own projections. The Page of Cups is a very idealistic card. Very idealistic. There's a fish coming out of his cup. And he's also a card of Pisces. He's also a card of Pisces. But there are different ways in which we can go through transformations. We can go through Plutonic transformations, which is what you have been going through. Whatever placement you have in Capricorn, you have been going through this Plutonic transformation. And Pluto just rips it off from us and forces us to change. Then we have Uranus, which is this very abrupt change that is electrical as well, and it can be exciting, but it can also be disheartening because it's very sudden. And it can also be a Neptunian transformation, which throws us into a fog in which we don't know what it is that is going on anymore, and we feel out of energy and we feel out of focus, and it's suddenly, the clarity suddenly emerges from it. So I see you being very connected with this Neptunian energy here, especially so if you have a strong Neptune in your chart as well. If you are from the 80s, if you are born in the 80s, in the end of the 80s or beginning of the 90s, you will have Neptune transiting Capricorn. So especially in that case, you will have Neptune conjunct to one of your either sun, moon, rising. It can be. You need to check your personal chart. But I see a lot of this Neptunian transformation going on here, even though we have Pluto in your zodiac. And with the Ten of Swords is all about learning how to let go of that. Learning how to let go of that delusion as well. How do we fool ourselves? What stories do we tell ourselves? I think that Pluto transiting Capricorn is really teaching you how to let go of illusions that you have about yourself and others. And now you can also aid others in realizing these delusions that they might have about themselves as well. And by letting go of these illusions, because the Knight of Cups in the reverse here is a card of letting go of those delusions as well. He is the upgraded Page of Cups, right? So by letting go of aspirations, of expectations, of stories that you told yourself about how things should be, you really open yourself up here to actually manifest things that are real, that are concrete in your life. And to be in a place that is much more balanced. Being in the right place in the right time and having what is really meant for you, having that which you deserve. But in order to really achieve that, you're gonna have to let go of what doesn't serve your life. And what doesn't serve here is really connected with this idea that you had of yourself and of others. So many times it's much harder to let go of the fantasy that we created than the thing itself. Have you ever had a breakup, for instance, with someone that you knew was not right for you? And then you realize that actually letting go of that person wasn't so hard. What was hard was letting go of the fantasy, of the projection that you created of who you thought they were. Many times we do that, right? Instead of seeing someone clearly, we create a story about them. We build a fantasy of who we think they are, and actually letting go of that is much harder than letting go of the person in reality, the real person. And this is exactly what I see happening here. This is the death of an illusion that you create about yourself, about who you thought you were supposed to be, of the career that you thought you needed to have, of a path that you thought you needed to follow. But I can tell you that whatever you are abandoning here was not the real deal. You're just letting go of the delusion, of the delusion, of the illusion. You are letting go of the expectation, of the projection, of the potential, not the real thing. And this is so interesting to say all this to a Capricorn, because actually you are a very grounded and realistic zodiac. But as I said, especially depending on the generation in which you were born, if you were born when Neptune was transiting Capricorn, then Capricorn can be aspecting one of your major placements. And now with Pluto also transiting Capricorn, it's time to break free from those Neptunian influences in your big tree as well. So it's really interesting for me that this is happening. This is really interesting that such a grounded zodiac is going through this transformation right now of letting go of an expectation, letting go of a projection. And I think that this is a beautiful process as well. A beautiful process. And as I said, not only you are learning that, but you are teaching that. But you will also be teaching that to an environment that can be very closed off to this kind of transformation right now. I think that everybody feels very comfortable in their own illusions. No one wants to let go of them. So whether you are in the teacher or the student role this month, there will be resistances, okay? There will be resistance. But I absolutely love the last row for you. Because first, the Emperor is an archetype that you know very well about. This is a card of Aries, which is also a cardinal sign, and you are the last cardinal sign, so you have integrated the lessons of the previous cardinal signs. And being the Emperor, being in the control, being in the position of power, that's all about, that's what Capricorn is all about. You are also the ruler of the 10th house. And 10th house is the midheaven, is the house of achievement, is the house of is the highest point in the sky. It's when the sun hits the highest point in the sky. And you are the natural ruler of that house. You're also the symbol of the goat that climbs the tallest mountains. So this Emperor here is very connected with your archetype. And then we have the Chariot, which is ruled by the sign of Cancer, which is your opposite sign. So this is the combination of your discipline, your initiative, your power to go after what you want, and also the focus to keep following what you want, and also working hard for it, having the discipline and putting up the work for it, which is also something that's all about Capricorn. You're ruled by Saturn. You are born knowing that if you want something, you need to work hard for it. You know that nothing comes for free. You know that. You were born knowing that. You learned that from very early on, that you needed to take care of yourself, that you needed to have discipline, that you needed to work hard. So all this is all you already know. This month, I feel it's not a month of starting new things even. It's a month about letting go of those illusions, finishing that cycle of letting go of the projections of what doesn't serve you, and then keep on doing what you do best. Especially with you coming up as the Death card here. You're bringing this transformation to others, and you are just finishing your own process. It's the Death. It ends here. This is a month of great opportunity for you to close these cycles. Okay? So Capricorn, let's get some oracle cards for you. And I'm gonna get an animal spirit card for us to see what energy could you embody this month for you to better transit through all this that is going on here. Okay. The mouse. Yeah, as I said, the mouse is very connected with this Eight of Pentacles, okay? So the mouse is not about doing something big. It's about doing all the small parts in a project. So this is not a month for you to do that one big thing. It's the month for you to do all the small things that will help you accomplish the big thing. So the mouse is very connected with the details. What are the parts? Okay, you work on the small parts, you make sure that all the little parts are working and well placed, and then you can trust that the big machinery will work. If you cater for all the small gears, place them where they are supposed to be, then you can trust that once you turn on the machine, it will work. But this is a time for focusing on those small pieces. Okay, one day at a time. Just working, doing what you do best. And focus that with that, you are getting exactly where you need to be. It's the small steps. It's the small steps. Actually, this week I read this sentence that I found, how was it? It was something like this: if you make a change today, it will not take you where you are supposed to be, but it will take you from where you are right now. It was something like that. So starting these small steps, it doesn't mean that you are going to automatically achieve everything that you need to achieve by tomorrow, but being there is about these small steps. So instead of focusing on the one big thing that you want to solve right now, focus on what steps can you take that you'll know will take you from where you are at the moment. The Emperor gives you the power, the strength to start it, and the Chariot gives you focus. But the real magic happens in those small steps. One pentacle at a time. You see, he doesn't expect to have all the 10 pentacles at once, and he doesn't make all the 10 pentacles at once. He doesn't blink and imagine like, oh, suddenly I have 10 pentacles here. No, he knows that the path to becoming wealthy is by building each pentacle one at a time. So this is a month for those very tiny, small steps. Let's get some last oracle cards for you. Wow. See what we got? New moon in Capricorn. Your hard work's paying off. It's what I just talked about, right? There's not even much more to say about this. Your hard work is paying off. Those small steps, one step at a time. Blessings. One step at a time. This is where you are working towards, the blessings. Your own blessings that you are building for yourself. And it also reminds me what I was talking about, this Eight of Pentacles, because we also have the Magician here in the middle. And the Magician is ruled by Mercury. And Mercury is all about detail. It's all about day-to-day. It rules both the 3rd and the 6th house, which are houses of the day-to-day, of the mundane, of the earth, of the environment around you. So not the society, but like your neighbors, your day-to-day work, going to work, running your errands. It's the small steps. That's where you have to focus on right now. It's not the big thing that you want to accomplish. It's the small, tiny steps that you need to take to get there. And let that transformation take you. It's due. It's already due. You are ready to step in that role of the teacher. Okay, Capricorn, so that's all I have for you this month, and I hope you enjoyed your reading. And if you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.